Magdalena, River of Dreams is a new book from award-winning best-selling author, National Geographic Explorer in Residence, and member of the Order of Canada. The list goes on. Wade Davis. The book brings to life the story of the great Rio Magdalena and Colombia's complex past, present, and future. Welcome back to the show via Skype. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for the early get-up in BC. Last time I can't believe it's been almost 10 years since your book on Mallory and the Conquest of Everest. You were here in our studio for Into the Silence. I don't know if you remember. You have so many author interviews.
Different world now, though, my friend.
Yeah, but I've been following your stuff since you and I met with interest. Actually, I just saw a recent essay that you wrote for Rolling Stone magazine about the unraveling of America and how COVID could end the America era as we know it.
That bloody thing went viral. It's had 362 million media hits around the world.
Is that your next book?
Well, you know, it's funny. Rolling Stone has asked me to kind of do a follow-up sort of roadmap of hope piece for the inaugural month of the election, and then maybe go on the road with the documentary series, sort of almost looking for America. You know, I mean, I think no matter what the outcome of the election is, the country is so torn asunder that it's at a desperate time in its history, and we, those of us who love America, the states, you know, we have to do what we can to help the nation, in a sense, heal. That may sound naive, but it really is true.
It really is, and important for Canada as well. But you know what? That's a good excuse for another chat. We'll book you again. But let's talk about your current book. And can we say your favorite country of the many countries you've traveled to? The love affair started when you were a student.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You know, we never know what our mums are going to do for us, do we? You know, my mom worked herself raw as a secretary in an elementary school outside of Montreal in 1967-8 to save money to be able to send me with a group of school boys with a teacher to Colombia. And it changed my life. You know, the other students were a little bit older with wealthier families. I was alone in the mountains with this modest family. And whereas many of the other lads who were older succumbed to what the Colombians call mamitis, which is homesickness, I felt like I finally found home. You know, and I've returned to Colombia time and again, and even as my work straddled the globe, it was always sort of the country that had first fired my imagination and given me license to be free. And it's come now, you know, now that I'm 66, it's come for full circle when President Juan Manuel Santos, just after he received the Nobel Prize for Peace, very kindly, in a beautiful ceremony in the National Palace, made me an honorary citizen.
Wow, of your many honorary titles. Amazing. Let's zero in on the River of Dreams, Magdalena. You've described this as the Mississippi of the country. It's the heart of everything.
Yeah, it's the heart of everything. You know, it's like the Mississippi. It's actually kind of a shadow of the Mississippi. The only two major rivers that flow into the Caribbean, except for the Rio Grande, and it's one of the few tropical rivers that flows south to north. It's a corridor of commerce. It runs the length of the country. It's also the fountain of culture, the source of poetry and prayer and literature and music. And a lot of what the book is trying to do, Bob, is to present a truthful image about Colombia. You know, a nation that's been torn asunder by conflict, but that's not the full story of the country. In fact, it's the spirit of the people and the bounty of their land, the richest country in the world in terms of geographical and biological diversity, that in a way has allowed them to survive. And I think it behooves us to remember that this war wouldn't have lasted a week without cocaine. And so, you know, those of us who may think of Colombia through the lens of narcos, for example, should remember that, you know, most Colombians have never seen, let alone used, cocaine. And it's the cocaine money that drove the war. You know, it's amazing to think that in the last year before the peace agreement, the FARC, the main leftist group, which was down to about 6,000 cadre at that point, mostly teenage kids looking for 3 meals a day, nevertheless made $600 million from extortion and drug trafficking.
It's astonishing, that money that propelled things.
Bob, if you gave me that much money in the Hamilton Boy Scouts, I could wreak havoc in Southern Ontario.
Do a lot of damage, absolutely. Yeah, so that was the takeaway for me. There's so much beauty in a country that has had a history of violence, and this, you know, it's a different Colombia in the book from the headlines, and that people should know about. We've run out of time, darn it, but we got to plug your appearance tonight, a virtual appearance with Eden Mills Writers Festival.
That's a wonderful festival, close to you guys in Hamilton.
Yep, yeah. Well, we'll put up the links for that at chch.com. And again, you owe us another visit to talk about your next book. Wade Davis, so good to see you via Skype.
Great to see you.
And that book
Thanks so much.
is available at bookstores and online everywhere.